There we go. It's all that rattling. Is that you moving things around? It must be.
It's me moving things around. I have a lot of Cylon parts that I've collected this year.
Is it? I've been looking for some parts actually. So, hey everybody, Chris Moore, also known as the Tipsy Toaster, and with me today is Pete. I always mess it. Giacomus and New York Pete. Welcome to the channel. Just a real quick intro that what we do and what we are. We are a science fiction news and commentary channel. We like to talk about science fiction stuff, of course, and it's new, old, 70s, 80s, 90s, even some of the newer 2020 stuff. We love that kind of thing. We like to sit and talk about that kind of thing. So we're enjoying this what we've been started with. It's almost been a year now, and it's just been something we just kind of came across and said, you know what, we're going to talk about this anyways. Why don't we just put together a podcast? And I said, no, let's go ahead and do a vidcast. So here we are, and we've had an excellent run so far this for the year, and we've introduced a couple of new authors. We've had some people from behind the scenes. If you haven't seen those things, go check them out on our channel. You'll see them there. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I know I'm missing one or two somewhere. We're on a lot of things. But so welcome. So we're really happy to have you here. And I'm going to turn it over to my co-producer. I get it wrong again. I always got to remember it's backwards. Every single time. It's like, maybe I should just do this number next time.
Yeah, there you go.
Turn it over to Pete. You're
learning.
Or there.
You're learning, man.
There we go.
Slowly but surely. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm New York Pete. I co-host and co-produce with my good buddy Chris, and we have a great episode for you. So we're going to be doing, of course, book versus episode, and not only that, we actually are going to be breaking down the differences in the various editions of the books, right? So that was a big thing that we started right up in the beginning, and so we got some really good stuff, some really good background to give you, because we went out of our way to find the early editions and first editions of the books, and we discovered some stuff about how they were written, those that were for overseas versus the American, the ones that most of us actually read. So that's that. You'll see. We're going to talk about that as we get into it. Chris, like you said, we got a lot of things planned for the 2021, and so there's bunch of guests. We have confirmed guests. We have some tributes we're going to do.
Oh yeah.
We're going to roll out a whole bunch of different things, and we'll talk, I think, a little bit more towards the end of the episode. We'll actually we'll reveal some of the guests, some of the confirmed guests, and we'll give up some more details on the tribute. We have a tribute that we're going to do, which is going to be a part of the show as we move forward. We're actually going to be doing various tributes. So that's going to be a part of this. And then we're going to have various guests. We've reached out to a lot of people, very lucky, overseas as well. Yes. So we're working on overseas contacts. So whether it be South America, the UK, or, we got various individuals that we're in touch with, and, we're working that. And so, Chris, you know what? Let's do our toast.
Yeah.
Right?
I forgot about that.
Let us toast to the new year, and of course to the fans.
Yes, fans fuel the fleet.
Fans fuel the fleet. Now, of course, I don't have the fancy tankard, but remember, they used these in Galactica.
Yes, they did.
They didn't all have the fancy eagle like yours, Chris.
Yes. I have an original one used in the show that doesn't have it's got the prop certificate, and it's just like that one. It doesn't have
and we're gonna talk about that, right? We're gonna actually. That's one of the things. Since you mentioned it, we're gonna have a show. We're gonna do the props. You're gonna show the certificate. You're gonna bring out the tankard and a whole bunch of other things with some of the guests that we have coming on board. So we're gonna mix it up, but we got the book to do. So we will be doing this. We're gonna get through this, and then so for anyone that's on, right? Since we are broadcasting live, for those of you that are on, you know what to do. You know, there's the chat, and send up whatever questions or comments as we roll. I see that we have, Lola and Lee and Sandy are actually watching. So thanks for coming on board. I know there's a few others that are coming on as we speak. So anything that you see coming up, any comments, any issues, questions, or otherwise, send it up because we're watching. And so, Chris, where
I'm glad
where
you
does
got
that
that
leave us
because
now?
I can't bring that up on my computer because I'm broadcasting this time. So for some reason it didn't show up.
Well, yeah. Sometimes the technical director does have limitations.
Yeah, well, I'll leave it to you. I know we love to have you guys on and gals. I always say guys. I'm so sorry, but we're very looking. We like to have you on. We like to interact with you a little bit. We like to have those top fans, those people with the top fan badges that show up. Those are great. And last week we did. I can't remember, so you're gonna have to forgive me. I am horrible with names. Like half the time I can't remember Pete. So, anyways, I'm just kidding. Cylons, we go by numbers.
Chris,
we just go by numbers.
That's the problem when you shut down those extra brains of yours, right? That's the problem. George is on board too. George has just sent me he was like, "Hey, I'm on too." So George, thanks for being on board as well. So
I just wanted to shout out to one of the fans that told me to get the so we're going to we had Pete hasn't had a chance to. I want to make sure we do a really good job in unboxing this. We want to listen to it first. So we've got the MP3s, and we're going to listen to it, and then we're going to unbox it, and we're going to give you a review of it at the same time without trying to give it away. So, don't want any spoiler alerts. But one of the fans last week said, hey, you got to get the book. And I said, yeah, I think I ordered it. And yep, I did. And actually, it's really good. It's really neat that you can go along and listen to the audio and go through the book. We don't make any money off this. This isn't like, hey, buy the book and we're going to, we don't get anything off of that. So, and then I just, the same guy who wrote that book, I was looking at it and said, you know what? Let me look and see what else he's got done. And I haven't opened this one yet either. This is an actress from Galactica 1980, and she has put down her story on a CD.
Ooh,
I have not listened to this yet. So,
that looks good.
See what happens.
Now,
it just snowballs. When the fan says, "Hey, go check the book out," I said, "Okay, I'll check the book out."
You got to get it
and
all.
then I end up with something else. Amazon's making a whole lot of money off me.
There's a Richard Hatch one.
Yes, yeah. Now that one's
phenomenal,
good, and it's available on. If you have Amazon Prime Music, it's free. It's already there. You don't have to order that one.
It is highly recommended. If
it's really
you're into oh man, I was so blown away on how well it was put together and the stories and what he's talking about, what he tells you. And I would say that the bulk of it, Chris, is not like common stuff.
Right.
So I was pleasantly surprised. Great. It's like autobiographical. And he covers, of course, Battlestar Galactica and all, and a little bit of his background. So if you see that out there, definitely listen to it, guys. You'll enjoy it. Yeah. So yeah, we got a bunch more of our followers and fans are on. Yep. Our fellow Galactica nuts.
And
so
also,
hey, welcome to the show, guys.
And just another shout out,
Andrew and Mocha.
Yep. Thank you. Also, we'll be doing some reviews on if anybody's ever heard of fanzines.
Nice.
We came across some fanzines. These are all my purple and orange. I have a stack of fanzines. It's probably about 2 feet tall. But if you've never seen a fanzine before, they're pretty neat. It's a solution. Sorry, I'm going to bump the microphone with these things. There's so many of them. It was a solution for the fans. There you go. Ooh.
Chris, have you seen this?
No. I like it. Hang on. Let me get closer on that one. Get back. Okay.
All right. You want to get closer? You go. I'll get you closer. There. So I know that some of the fans have this, I'm sure, and it's definitely here's the back of it real quick. Just the back of that. So I remember, Chris, for those of you that are familiar with New York City and Forbidden Planet and the original Forbidden Planet, they had all of these, and there's a various collection of these type of magazines like Epilogue and this thing, and I have a few of these. So at some point, Chris, we're gonna bring this up, and we'll do hopefully we'll do like a magazine episode, and we'll talk about magazines and Dynamite and things like that, and we'll talk about these too, besides fanzines. So that's definitely in the mix.
Yep.
Fanzine,
Lola,
I have a few from '90s. Sandy, awesome.
Yeah, Lola asked
Amazon.
Richard Hatch thing. What's the name of it again?
Amazon Prime for Hatch. Please repeat
the name.
Amazon Prime. So let's.
It was,
and Charlene Donatello's on.
Yeah.
So let's
What's the name of that Richard Hatch's thing?
Yeah, let's get the name of that CD. We'll get that before the episode's up, and we'll make sure that we broadcast that. Yep. So yeah, definitely, guys. I trust me. You're gonna listen to it, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, they were right. This is really, really good." By the end of it, you're like, "Oh man, I wish he could have talked for more." So I put it on. I actually had the CD as I was driving.
Yep.
I would have it on. And so by the end of it, I was like, "Oh wow!" It felt like you were actually, like he was talking to you. Yeah. So and the stories were cool. So anyway,
I got it.
You got it.
On.
All right.
Oops.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Hang on. Let me hide the other thing that I had up there. I have my show notes were up there. I didn't want to let everybody know what's going on.
Siraj, welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in.
There we go. So this is
it is. This is
where, Amazon Music. You can listen to it now if you already have it. If you already have Amazon Music Prime Music, I think is what it is. I don't know. I have the Prime thing where you can listen to music, but you do streaming unlimited, and it's from Apollo to Zarek, and it's you can see it's becoming an actor, how he shot for the moon, is the Lost Warrior. It's a really good video. It's a really good audio book that goes through there, and it's good sized. It'll last you a little bit.
It is.
Sorry about that. Making everybody sick. Hang on. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Keep doing that so you can fall down, and then I'll just take over the show by myself as you're picking yourself up, man. What's the matter with you?
So once again, we don't make any money off that. We just both of us have listened to it, and it's a really interesting. It's a really interesting audio cassette. I keep saying cassette. I guess I'm stuck back in the '80s.
You should just say 8-track. 8-track. Why don't you say 8-track?
No, it'd be worse if I said reel to reel. My dad used to have a reel to reel. I was like, "What is that?" And he said, "Oh, just hang on, let me put some music on." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what a pain in the butt that is!"
8-track, baby, 8-track.
So, anyways, those are some good things, you guys. If you haven't seen it or heard of those music CDs, 8-tracks. Just kidding.
Yep. No, the audio is
definitely
worth
free.
Getting, guys.
Yeah,
highly recommended. Actually, to be quite honest, I got mine on eBay, and it was CD. It was a sealed CD, as far as I know. It was aftermarket, maybe, I don't know. It wasn't a copy; it was a legit one, and I'd never seen it before. So I don't know. Scott and ML Jones and Sean, thanks for coming on, and Kylie. So all right, guys. I think that's time, Chris. Is it time to go to
book versus episode? Oh, this is going to be a good one too.
Oh, especially since we're bringing in that other edition of the book, man. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Hang on. Here we go.
So, you ready?
Book versus episode.
All right, book versus episode. This week we're starting on chapter 6. Just a little halfway through the book. It's taken us a while to get this far, but it's been such a really good journey. If you haven't had a chance to watch our previous shows, we've talked about the other books, other chapters. Sorry, and
books. No, we did. We
did talk about the books. So the other chapters where we started out, we talked about the different. This is going to circle back to almost our very first show, where we talked about the two different versions, or the multiple different versions, actually more than two, but there's two definitely different versions of the actual book and how they compare to the episode. And we always talked about, there's two different, we'll just go through and say right off the bat, there's a Canadian version, and then there's an American / Australian / everybody else. It's the Canadian version that did not get edited. is bad for the American public. They took cuss words out. They took out, and you'll see the things that they've taken out tonight. We actually wouldn't compare it to them. Pete's got the U.S. side of the house, and I've got the Canadian side of the house, and I've got the Canadian version. So this is, I'm gonna lose my place because I have some things marked out. It's the Canadian version. If you get a chance to find it, it is, you'll see on the corner, it says Totem, Totem. This is the least edited version of the Battlestar Galactica book. And Pete, you've got the American version. This one. Yep. And that's even the special edition. And there's one that doesn't even have special edition on it. This is the other one that's non-special edition.
These two are basically identical. There's no difference.
They're exactly the same. I don't know why they call it a special edition, because there's nothing different in either one. Yeah. It did some research.
And then the other one you mentioned is this one. This is the UK one.
That's the UK one, yep. And that's from, what's the press on that one? New Zealand. That's Futura, right? Futura on the corner?
Yes. UK, Australia, New Zealand.
Hang on, let me zoom in on that for everybody so I can see a little bit better, bigger. I think it says down at the top left there, Pete, it says Futura, I think it is.
Yes. Yes, it does.
That's the
And hold on.
Company.
On the back.
Oh yeah.
And look, on the back you can see where it says UK, Australia, and New Zealand.
Right. And I think the back also has got a different write-up than the Canadian version too. Yeah, look how long that write-up is, and look how short the Canadian version. Whoops. Gotta turn my camera.
Here, I got it. Here we go.
And then this is the Canadian version. The write-up is just a little bit different.
Yeah. So
anyway, if you really get lucky, good luck finding one of these. This was the pre-release.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so this is one of my prized possessions. You don't find these too often at all.
No, that's a hard one to get, man.
Yeah, this is a pre-release.
First there was Star Trek, then there was Star Wars.
And now there is Battlestar
Galactica. Right, so then there's this one. This is the hardcover.
That's the hardback, yep.
Yeah, that's the one that I like to read from because it's just a little easier to deal with. And then, of course, the special edition is not my original copy. My original copy is away in a little plastic bag. So this is a backup one.
I've got so, and I know it's Lola. I did not get the thing out in the mail to you. I will get it out this week. I promise. It's been pretty hectic here in DC, so I've been pretty busy myself. So, but I'll get that out to you.
Michelle and Kylie, right? Are good. Kylie, good morning from Australia.
Woo!
Good day to you. Thanks for tuning in.
It's good day, right?
Good day.
Good day.
All right. Well, hey, listen. Don't butcher. Careful, right?
don't insult her.
Yes. Make it up like tropes and things.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. And never mind, Chris is the Tipsy Toaster. And there's a reason why he's the Tipsy Toaster.
Yeah.
So, let's see, like that pulpy cover font. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, we know that these books, right? The books themselves, they all start with from the Adama journals.
Yes, and I love these Adama journals. Once again, you get the little bit of the feeling of what Adama was really thinking and like. So it's totally different than the show. So if you haven't read the book in a while, pick it up and at your local store. No, you won't find it at the local store.
No.
Find it.
Maybe. Yeah, I was going to say used bookstore.
And they're pretty
cheap on eBay. Yeah, your local eBay.
Yeah.
Actually,
cheap.
Michelle says hello from Arizona.
Ah, there we go. It's early there.
So,
well, not early, but
Arizona
earlier.
Here as well. I didn't know Sean is in Arizona. Thanks, Sean. Actually, I thought you were closer. Don't know why.
It was like Midwest.
Yeah, me too. But cool, man. Hey, the more the merrier. So you guys, hey, chime in as we go through this. The Adama Journal. A lot of times we get a lot of really cool insight, and it reminds me a lot of when Adama Lauren Green on the episode of the show, right? He's dictating and he's talking into the mic, and the computer's actually transcribing everything that he's telling, he's talking into the microphone on. And so that's the correlation one between, the beginning of the chapter. But the chapters themselves are the beginning of the chapters are really interesting in that we're getting backstory into Adama, what the thought process is at any given time in the timeline, the narration of the story itself. I actually, you guys, I know many of you have thought about this, but Chris, I always wondered if anybody had actually copied out everything that Lauren Green's Adama on the show had said. I thought it'd be kind of cool if they did one, an Adama journal of him on the show, right? Because
Right.
some of that stuff is way different than what's in the book. It's not even
Oh, yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Um,
I've
so
done
I
some
always thought that'd be
screenshots, I
kind of
think.
cool. Yeah,
I've
to
got
try to
some
like write
screenshots of
out.
those.
Yeah, that's really
Maybe
cool.
we can do that later.
But
I'll definitely go through and get some screenshots of some of, and not every episode
Yeah,
had
man.
Adama journals. Almost all
No,
of them did,
but
but not every did. Everyone did.
yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, this
So
week's
with this one,
week's
Chris,
Adama is really good. So yeah, I'll let you run into this one because it's a good story. It gives you a
man.
feeling for Starbuck.
Oh hell yeah!
So take it away. Go ahead, Pete.
All right. So in this one, it's I didn't know how to like it seemed to me that you could actually say this Adama journal, written of course from Commander Adama's private memoirs. Is it Starbuck versus Adama, or Adama gets outwitted, and that's kind of what it is. So Adama's the consummate commander. He's in charge of the Battlestar. Now we all know backstory is that Starbuck and Apollo obviously they went through the academy together. Adama knows him really really well, but he's got an eye on Starbuck because Starbuck's always doing things, and in this Adama journal we're talking about focusing a little bit into Starbuck's playful side. We know that he's a gambler, right? He loves to play games, and he's always looking for angles. And it's what's interesting though is Adama tells us that there's a lull in the war, and they're involved in convoy duty. And the other thing was interesting, which they didn't really explore this because it's just the setup is that there's a fueling station that they're actually building, which is kind of interesting in and of itself. So there is no timeline narrative on is this him reminiscing about something that happened in the past, or where on their journey this happened. But a fueling station, that's kind of interesting that they're actually building this so they feel safe enough. And so Adama is looking kind of like through, I guess, from the corner of his eye, you might say, spots Starbuck doing what he does best, or at least one of the things he does. And it's like it seems like he's running a numbers game. And Adama's like, you know what, if that's what he's doing, I'm gonna finally put him in his place. I'm gonna catch him red-handed, playing the numbers, betting, and he's got like the whole ship, of course, is probably involved, and he's going to now follow him, Chris. Adama's gonna follow Starbuck and catch him in the D, right?
Oh yeah, he's following him in the hallway. It's funny. He says it's hard to be sneaky when you're the captain of the ship. So he's like, he's following him down. He's also described Starbuck as being green. His green lieutenant. He's duped almost everybody on the ship, and everybody's, he described people who've just been duped. They're like, oh, I've gotten, all my money's gone, and Starbucks walking down the hallway, and he says he's not. I can't remember the exact wording, but he's like he's not good at anything else, but he loves the numbers, so he's writing constantly the number, and Adama's like, okay, he's going to a game or something. I'm going to catch him this time. He's not going to the right spot. It's not, and they mentioned there's time and places for gambling on the ship that's available. So that's and you see that in the main episode where they're actually gambling inside the quarters for all the pilots. So he's chasing him down the hallway a little bit, and
Yeah.
he goes
But
into
he actually,
Go ahead.
Adama said that that Starbuck acts sort of like a green cadet. Now,
Mhm.
I don't think he used cadet, but he said that he's kind of green when it comes to a lot of like military issues, which I
Right.
kind of got that, he plays it as if, kind of loose, right? Not like a senior, like a well-rounded or experienced officer, but he kind of like does things as if he's kind of new at this. But when it comes to the gambling,
Oh
man,
yeah.
that guy, he's on top of things, right?
Yeah. So he follows him to the med bay. And I guess it's an empty part of the med bay, so we get the idea that it's a lull in the fighting. There's not many people in the med bay, and all the medical people there. And he walks in, and he's like, "Caught him finally." and he says,
like,
and it says in his most commanding voice, "What's going on here?"
Right. So yeah. So now, right. What's described is almost typically, what you see on any show, right? Whether you watch a show or movie, and there's a guy with a writing down like who's betting what, writing down the name, what the bet is, and for what, and he's getting little slips of paper and a little bit of money, and so Adama's like, I got you. It's like, what's going on here? And he's in the med bay, and he describes it, and it sounds like it's a pretty big, med bay, probably larger than what we've seen on the show. And so he's like, he's Adama's like all relishing the fact that he's got him. And then when he confronts Starbuck, right? He's like, what's going on? What are you talking about? What is this? What are you betting on? And he sees that he's got these little pieces of paper, folded paper, and he looks like he's got money. And Starbuck's embarrassed, or plays it off as if he's embarrassed to say that well, the bet is on how long Adama would live. It's like, well, it's about how long you're gonna live. It's like, what?
You're
Like, totally
betting on
throws
my
him
life?
off, right? He thinks it's something else. So he's like, why? So like, Adama's like, oh, you're betting on when I'm gonna die? What the hell's the matter with you? It's like, what do you mean, right? And then he's like, okay,
He
give me
said the
those,
fix
give me
is
the
in.
slips.
Yeah, he said
Yeah,
the fix is
the
in.
fix,
So yeah, so I would have won anyways. And
So he gets the slip, right? He gets the first one or whatever, and he opens it up, right? And
it says never.
never. He's like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then he looks at the money, right? And the money's like these, slugs. They're not like it's not real.
It's lead, yeah.
And then he looks at Starbuck, and he looks around. And it seems like everybody's
in on it.
And it's like,
yep.
Yeah, everybody's in on it. Jokes on Adama, right? He thought he had him, and it was a setup. And he's like, oh,
he talks
boy,
about how he's kind of
right.
furious, but he plays along with it.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to, you got it. I've been suckered, is what he says. That's a quote. I've been suckered.
Been Starbuck.
Right? So, yeah, he's been Starbuck. Oh man, so that's an actual pretty good, start for the actual chapter
and
itself.
At that point, he also says in that he never went back after him after that. So he's like, nah, do what you want to do.
He kind of backed off because he realized there's too much effort to go through all of that again. Yeah. So hey, all right. So we're about now. So that's it, right, Chris? That's pretty much a good summation of the Adama Journal.
Good story.
And then, and then we go into the actual what goes on. So, Martin, Nicholas, and welcome to the show. Anyway, so back to now the chapter, right? Because we're going to start the chapter proper now. So remember, each one of the chapters have the Adama Journal. This chapter, page 107 to 137, is about 30 pages, and it has I picked up on 13 separate sections, right? So it moves between little short vignettes almost, that move the story along. So we have different sections. And this one, this is the one where now Starbuck is meeting up with Cassiopeia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, so before we go any further, Chris, I am reading, right? This is the classic American version, right, of the actual, story, the chapter. And it's I don't know, do we say PG or I mean,
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
probably
guess
good.
like sort of like
Because once
PG,
again, you have to remember
right?
that it was edited for the scholastic piece of it too.
Yes, there was a big element of that
Right.
involved. So I don't know if that means, Chris, in the end, if they tried to clean it up, tone it down. I think it's more of a tone it down.
Yes.
It reads. Don't get us wrong. It reads well. So
Yeah.
whatever version you're reading, it's just that
You're
Chris is going to bring up
yeah.
that
Just
the
a few
Canadian
sentences.
one.
Yeah, just a few
The
sentences, a few
Canadian one
words.
is
Yeah.
a little more saucy, which may have been the original intent. It's not clear whether or not that's what
Well,
they wanted to originally go with.
the
Right.
original script was
Right.
Saucy.
Okay. Right. And then they had to they scaled it down.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess the book that I'm reading from and the American version and like the UK, New Zealand, Australian versions, they're all basically the same thing. But Chris, you're going to interject some differences. Right? And that's where it gets a little, little saucy. So Starbuck meets with Cassiopeia.
All right, you started off. Go ahead.
And all right, so they meet, right? They're meeting, and they're on the flight deck, right? So this is all okay. No clear differences so far in terms of what we know to be standard. What I picked up on though, Chris, in terms of what I thought was kind of interesting that was there, there's Starbuck is by his Viper, and he mentions the flight crew, and he mentions that the head of his flight crew is Jenny, which is kind of interesting. So he drops
Mm-hmm.
a name. Never see that character. And Chris, the Viper is suspended.
Right.
I thought that was very,
Yeah.
very interesting.
The way it's suspended in the,
Viper
I think our
is-
quote is, the way it's suspended in the air like that, it looks like it's flying.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's kind of
it's different.
cool. Yeah. So there's then, right, this long conversation between Cassiopeia and Starbuck, and she mentions, Chris, that she's no longer a socialator. She does not consider herself a socialator anymore. And she mentions um this thing about whether or not Starbuck loves her, which I don't know, kind of comes out of
Right.
nowhere almost,
Yes.
right?
I think
But
the
it has,
question is, do you love me?
do you love me, right? Yeah, but
Yep.
like, come on, it's not do you like me, it's like, do you love me, which is
Right.
something that I think she says something to the effect of she wants to make this personal. It's not about who
Right.
she was,
That's where
the
she introduces
profession
the
she
thing. Say,
was.
look, I want, I want to be, with you in regards to not being a socialator. I don't want to be a socialator anymore, type thing. I just want to step back a little bit because there's some really interesting characterisms for Starbuck before this. They describe him sitting there. He's having kind of a nightmare. He's falling asleep. He's weary. He's battle hardened. It's been a long couple of weeks or months, or we really don't know the time frame on this, which is kind of nice because you can always just imagine how long it takes between certain things. So he's he's got vision. He's having visions of this of starving mob, and he's falling asleep, and he's stolen a cigar from Boomer. Not stolen, but that's what they call stolen. But he bummed one off a Boomer, so he's smoking the cigar. And the questions that came up to me is like, how did she find him? Because this is his supposedly secret space. I mean, this is where he goes to decompress and relax and everything else. And there's not a lot of places in the Galactica that doesn't have somebody watching you, which we'll find out a little later on. Because if you've seen the show, you know what's going to happen. So so he's fallen asleep and everything else. But so, she goes into the bay and she yells out his name, and he comes out, kind of, what are you doing back there? And he's smoking a cigar. He's like, oh, he's, relax, whatever else. Like, oh, let me have that. So she takes a puff off the cigar, which is probably in the 70s, wasn't something that you would normally see. I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to say women can't smoke cigars. I'm just saying on TV, that's probably something you would not see. And so she's taking a couple of cigars, and he's thinking about, oh, she's really, also it mentions that she is showered and she has put on a new dress that, if in the right light, is translucent. You can almost see through it. So that's in both books. So you get where this is going, right? Don't need a roadmap for this, do we? So she's like, hey, give me the cigar. She puffs on it. Oh, this is heavenly, And it's one of the things I just wanted to mention was he says, yeah, that's Boomer's special blend. He's like a botanist. What? So so here we got Apollo in the previous chapters, who's evidently a scientist who can build a what do they call it? A force field, a camouflage field around the fleet that he's developed. And now we got Boomer, who's probably a botanist. And later on in one of the other episodes, I won't spoil it for you, but he's also a communications expert. What else do these people know? I mean, they don't really get into the characters that much on these, so it's really kind of neat that they put the character piece into that, and into the information behind these people. So you're like, they're not just knuckle dragging, pilot jockeys. They're actual scientists. They're actually smart, and they're not. That's not put out into the show as much. So I jumped back there, Pete. Sorry. We'll go back forward now. So she grabs a cigar. He also mentions in there that he kind of liked her looking vulnerable. He says he's sorry that she's wearing this nice dress and everything else. He says maybe I liked her more vulnerable. I kind of wanted to be I want to be the person who rescues them. But he also states he really likes women who are, what word is it they use? Strong. He likes really strong women, and it mentions like Athena. So Athena and him, he likes the strong women, and now here comes another strong woman who's very forward. Being
George
a socialator
says,
and all.
Starbuck is so slick.
Oh yes.
Yeah, no kidding. And Sean says PG-13 came to be in 1984, so maybe it would be nowadays.
I guess it would be PG.
Sean
right?
says, let's get saucy, man. Just get into it. And read away. Lola's like, read away, Chris. And Sean also mentions that Jenny in follow-up books also. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we'll be doing the other books too. Eventually, we won't. Say right
that's
away,
cool. But... So now you still didn't bring it up to the fact that she says, let's walk.
Yep.
Yeah, we're walking towards the launch tube, right?
And she's like,
it's like,
is there someplace private?
Yeah. and she wants to go to launch tube, and Starbuck's like, no, that's not a good idea to go over that way. Let's not go that way.
Right, and then, but before they get there, she says, "Do you love me?" Hang on, you ready for the British or the Canadian version? Them sexy Canadians. Canadian version. Exact words. You're ready. I gotta scroll down and make sure I get it right. American, do you love me? Canadian, would you make love to me?
Nice.
That's a big change. not do you love me? Would you make love to me?
Oh wow.
Ooh, okay, now we're talking a really strong woman, and she's really forward.
Oh, so that just plays right into it.
Yes, that makes much more sense that way too, by the way.
And you could see how the edit, how with just kind of moving a few words around and omitting something, like, you know, you could see the writer just kind of like, all right, let's just move this over, take that out, and try to move on.
Right. And she does mention some things about, Cassie mentions some things about on her planet. He's like, well, isn't that a little forward? And he's like, well, on my planet, we would have to do the, we would have to have, you would have to make your intentions known to me as, because I'm a solicitor, Socialator. Solicitator is probably close too. Anyway,
Sean says he thinks you're blushing.
Silence, don't blush. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
We just we don't have to do that copulation thing. We just build a new one.
Build a new robot.
That's it. So, oh man, now you got me going. Now you got me flustered. Way to go, Sean. Where was I going? Oh, so the idea behind say, hey, you have to make your intention known, and we'd have to talk about the elders and everything else. So you get this idea that we had mentioned. I'd kind of drawn the correlation between her and I can't remember the girl's name on Firefly, but that it's being the profession and all the work that had to go behind becoming a socialator. So and she's in my planet. You'd have to do this. So I don't want to be a socialator anymore. So that's why I asked you. That's why she just came out and said it instead of, that way. So say, hey, what's in there over there? Let's go. Hey, is there anything, is there someplace private we can go? I think Starbucks like, what?
Yeah, just for a split second though, man. Someone like Starbucks was like, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like he's like really taken aback by this. It's like, oh, well.
Yeah. Which is a good thing. As a matter of fact, Sean says he makes a correlation between like Pretty Woman, where Julia Roberts' character, a hooker, wouldn't kiss on the job, but she did kiss Richard Gere. Same for Cassie. She used the word love to separate from, the socialator thing. So that's a good one, right?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's
I like that. Very good. Nice job, buddy. All right. So
into the launch tube.
In terms of, launch tube, man.
So it ends.
That's insane.
Your portion ends at the launch tube. What does it say? Before he goes to the launch tube, he says what?
All right. So this is what's in there, right? That's what she says. What's in there? And he says that's the launching tube. You don't want to go in there. Cassiopeia had already walked into the tube through a circular side opening. Her hand gestured towards him. He looked all around the launching bay, even up the ceiling. Lordy said, I'll do anything you ask tomorrow. Just don't call an alert tonight. Woo! And that's it. That's how that section ends.
And that's how that ends in the American version.
All right, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Give it up.
Canadian version is, oh Lord, whatever you do, make sure they don't call a thing tonight. And then it says, right? He followed her into the launching tube. Reaching out, he came into contact with an area of her skin. He felt excited and happy working out which part of her now completely naked body it belonged to.
Whoa. Let
me read that again.
Oh, man.
Let's read that
go ahead.
again.
One more time.
All right.
Yeah.
So he followed her into the launching tube. Reaching out, he came in contact with an area of her skin. He felt excited and happy, working out which part of the now completely naked body it belonged to.
The rest is up to your imagination. So
then it switches.
Man. So guess what? Brandon and Mofford just came in at the right time, guys. You just picked up on one of the best parts of chapter 6. So so that's way beyond anything that we got in the books, and obviously that's not something that we got to see in the show. However, there is
that would have been nice.
Well, there is isn't there some kind of a scene, Chris, where Starbuck doesn't have his shirt on?
Yeah,
and
put that
they're
in the very
actually
beginning,
in. Yeah,
that's what's happening. That's what's coming up next.
Right.
Athena.
But so that was that's out there, right? So the
Mhm.
visual of this scene is kind of sort of out there.
Yeah, we
Sean
have.
says
Go ahead.
the laser disc went blank. Oh, no, the laser disc goes black, and you had to flip the disc over right around this scene. So
I guess they wanted to make you
that sucks.
make you wonder. Yeah, imagine. Get the laser disc back in. Get the laser disc back in.
Yeah. So all right. So that basically, that ends. That first section, right?
Yep.
Within chapter 6, and we now, we jump cut basically to Athena on the bridge. The bridge is basically it must be like that midnight shift,
It's late at night,
and it's Colonel Ty. It's Athena, Colonel Ty, right? And she's distracted, and Colonel Ty's talking to her, and Starbuck of course comes up, and then she kind of lingers and then decides she's turning on the monitors. And that is,
Yep.
I don't know if that's what she wanted to see or not, man, because she was wondering, where is he? He wasn't where he was
Right.
supposed to be,
Well,
right?
she
So
went and talked to Ty first. So she goes to Ty,
Yes.
hey, and it's a little bit of small talk, and Ty's like, and she finally asked, have you seen Starbucks? He says, well, you certainly know how to, you certainly know how to dance around the subject before you get to what you really wanted to know. And and the Ty's conversation in the American version is, have you seen him?
Yeah.
That's that makes sense, right? Yeah. In the
Yeah, of
Canadian
course.
version, of course, it's have you seen him? Damn it!
So there's a little bit
of cussing going on, or a little
cussing.
also
yeah.
gives you. I think it also gives an idea of Athena personality is a little different. Oh, have you seen him? No, have you seen him? Damn it! Is a more like we were talking earlier. Starbuck likes the
forceful,
aggressive, and forceful type female. So this is this kind of builds onto that. So not much of a difference there, but still, you get that little damn it going on. So
right. So this is she obviously we're all up in this scene where she turns on the monitors, right? And she sees them.
Yep.
She makes some interesting comments though, right? So now it's unknown if it's just her bias, and so she's like taking out her jealousy on the way she describes Cassiopeia.
Yeah,
because we've seen
part.
that Starbuck Starbuck sees her differently.
Yeah.
But Cassiopeia says she's a bedraggled woman,
right?
that she might be sexy in spite of her scraggly condition.
Right. And
that's how she describes
when she came over from the when she came over from the thing, she was all her stuff was torn and everything else. But when she went down to meet Starbuck, once again, it states she had taken a shower and put on a very thin, almost see-through dress.
Is that the description? Like Starbuck is giving us his point of view versus Athena sees her totally different. And is that just her jealousy that's mirroring,
going on? But one thing we don't have in this one is the scene where Athena was undressing, which is, I'm glad they added that to the episode, but that was not in the book. I was upset. That would have been an awesome description. Maybe they would have gone a little farther on that one too. So
Athena works her
Sean's
way
got
out,
it. Claws
up
her
into
out.
this rage.
She's got it.
She works her way up in a rage. Yep, and then we get, of course, the steam purge.
Right.
That's what this all leads to. Steam purge.
So before she steam purges, she states she has a specific statement. Do you remember what it is?
What do you mean? A specific statement?
She says, "That little snake." Right, before she steam burns him. Right.
Wait a second. Wait a minute.
That's in the episode too, I believe.
Yeah, she does. She does say it. She says it out loud, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
Her finger quickly proceeded to another button. This one marked Steam Purge. Yes, you're right. That's right. Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Canadian version is different.
Come on. Don't hold back, man. Come on.
So you ready for this one? So yours ends with that, so that little snake. Canadian version is Starbuck and the tall woman she'd seen with him earlier, each engaged in caressing each other's body vigorously, caressing their naked bodies.
Whoa. Easy.
Are we still PG-13 here?
Yeah.
He said the word naked. Oh my gosh.
Kids around? Take it back. Yes.
Vigorously caressing their naked bodies.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's something. Now there's not a lot more. There's not much.
A lot of difference.
Yeah, there is, and there's not a lot left basically in this particular section.
No,
right?
That's unfortunately
she tries
the sex
to laugh.
Over.
Yeah, Athena tries to laugh about it, but she's pissed, right? I mean, she's annoyed, and that's basically. And then she switches the monitor off. She did what she had to do.
Walks away,
and she kind of walks away, and she's taking delight in what she just kind of did.
Yeah.
She's getting back at them, and then that's kind of how this ends.
Right. I think.
And we jump cut.
Yeah. Dirk talks about this scene on the commentary piece of the. I know it's on the red. Do I have it? Oh yeah, I do. The Blu-ray
special edition.
Yeah, no, it's just the Blu-ray, the definitive collection. Hi there.
Oh yeah,
this is one the definitive collection of the Blu-ray version.
Yes.
You can buy it for $49.95 in my store. Just kidding. Anyways. We don't sell anything.
No.
So
dumb. What are you talking about?
So in that version, he does talk about that scene and how they were laying on top of each other, and how they did film it with his shirt off. Now I cannot find. Now if somebody has access to it or knows where it's at later on, please send it to me because I'd like to have it from. That doesn't sound right. I'd like to have it for my archive. Not that I really desperately want to see Dirk's bare chest. I mean. There's other parts in the show I can watch and see Dirk's bare chest. That's not me. Don't worry. But hey, if that's your kind of thing, that's fine too. We don't care. But just not for me. I mean, I'm not really looking for Dirk's bare chest. But I like to have, when somebody mentions that, like, oh yeah, I've got that video and I can play it. So, but it's not in the outtakes of the DVD version that I can find. So if somebody runs across that, let me know where you got it so I can download it and put it in my archive of cool things to know about. So, but yeah, so he talks about how they're on top of each other, and then they had to go back and reshoot it. I guess they wrapped for the day, and they had to go back and then reshoot it because the censors found it a little too unfamily friendly because of the time frame that the Battlestar Galactica was at, and it was in the 8 o'clock time slot, which was the family time slot.
Yeah, the earlier one, which is which I didn't, and it make a difference to me, man. I just made sure I knew when it was going to be on.
Yep.
And that's it. The day and time. I didn't care if it was early, late, nothing. I just needed to know when the episode is going to be on, bro. And I followed it like religious. I didn't care about none of that. As a matter of fact, since we're talking you brought this up, I saved up all my money, every dime that I could get my hands on.
There we go.
And I actually, towards the end of the first season, I'd actually acquired my own VCR. It was like a gigantic, tabletop monster, and I started recording the episodes. Yeah, man, I bust my butt doing shoveling snow and anything else I could do to get money so I could buy a VCR. And that was my motivation. It was Battlestar Galactica. Anyway, all right. So let's move forward then, because we're done with this section in the chapter. So that's the second, and we move into the third, Chris. Yeah.
That would have been done. So, that would have done nowadays and put on Sci-Fi Network. It would have ended up like Trisha Helfer and their glowing.
Yeah. It would have been NC-17. Anyway.
Wow.
Oh yeah. This next section is really kind of interesting, and now looking back and taking a little bit of time to actually look at it, it says they talk about the Marin Drive, which is fascinating. It's supposedly, this is what, propels the ships of the colonies. The Marin Drive, and Chris had developed when Marin had developed her interstellar drive centuries ago. So
her,
her,
her.
yeah,
That's very important.
isn't that cool,
that's
man?
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back
And
in
it's
the,
and the Marin Drive. I don't think we've ever. I
never
don't
heard
think
of
that
it.
ever came up, man. I don't. Right.
It's nowhere.
Sean says it's the Marin Jensen Drive, and that's I had to bring that up for Chris because
I
Anyway,
have the Marin Jensen drive somewhere.
yes. Actually, I gotta bring this up. Lola says I broke dates to watch Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. All right.
That's because she wanted to see Dirk's chest along with.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, so this little interlude, the in between section talks about the Marin Drive, and it talks about Tylium, and it mentions war profiteering, and it talks about how high the prices have been driven for Tylium, their fuel. And another little tidbit is it talks about Count Baltar and how he was one of the major profiteers and that he was involved in raising the price. And they also bring up the fact that this was probably, or it actually added to the reason that, the council and the colonies had decided that it was in everybody's best interest to just sue for peace because fuel had gotten so expensive and it was getting hard to get to, right? So that's brought up right up front in this section. And we're just about getting ready to make the big jump, and the jump is of course to go to Caroline, right? And they're discovering that there's a minefield, and the minefield
right.
is not right. So in the episode, or in the premiere, right, they're flying through some kind of a specific area of space, right?
Yeah,
Like a nova or something.
Nova of
And it's yeah, and it's the only way they
Madagascar,
could get there, right?
Somebody will help us out there. Magalon.
Yeah, somebody will bust that up. So that's not what this in the book. It's not that, right?
No.
And they describe the mines, which are really cool. They didn't really get into it all that much, but it's very, very close in terms of the book and the episode. But of course, the book just gives us a heck of a lot more detail.
It's more believable.
It is, right? So it's the trio.
I could not understand the nova of Madagascar that's been mined, and we're talking about space here. They couldn't mine all of space. You have to be able to go around it somehow. I mean, so it always bothered me a little bit, but of course it didn't. But what it says in the book makes a whole lot more sense.
But listen, Chris, what if the minefield is so great that it would, right? So get this, you could go around it, but if it's so extensive that you're going to have to burn so much fuel to actually get around it, that it's not worth it. Like it is, it defeats the purpose of trying to get to Caroline if you have to go like light years out of your way to finally get around it. And then you don't know if this thing is done like, I don't know. I kind of like you look when you're reading it, and you're just not really. Eventually, you think a little bit about it, but I just figured, maybe it's. I mean, in the show, they had to go through this thing. This is the only way to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
But if the minefield is that great, or as great as they say it was, at some point you're like, we got the Cylons coming after us, and you have a time restraint, and then you have a fuel restraint. So the only way to get to it is you got to go through it. And they didn't really say that per se in the book. That's not what's going on, right? In the book, it's the minefield is basically around the planet.
Right. They've enveloped the entire planet.
So and they said that the minefield has actually been maintained, which they
Right.
thought it was so like what the heck, right? So these mines are not just out there floating around and have been just abandoned. They've been maintained, and there's three different types of mines involved, right? And so, all right, so we're kind of blending it all together because there's three pilots, right? We're talking Apollo, Starbuck, and Poomer. There's a slight bit of reluctance in the book itself. They talk about there's a little bit of reluctance in getting involved in this because obviously they're going to be, it's all instrument flying, and the reason is that one of the mines is it's reactive, and it puts out like a blinding light. Nobody could actually stand to see it. If you did come in contact with it, that'd be the end of that. The other one, they discover, Chris, that it's actually it jams every type of frequency and electronics and stuff. So that's what that one does. And the other one, of course, is explosive, tremendous explosive mine. So those three combined, it's all nearly impossible to actually get through. So that's fascinating in and of itself. I just thought the way they presented that was pretty cool. But
I think that leads into what they, so you've got the blinding light, which is the Nova had the blinding light. And then, of course, that bleeds into a lot of that episode description, what it was on the episode.
Right, which is really close to
right.
what we see. All right, so they, those are the observations that I thought were, kind of critical. The section itself, Chris, ends with them realizing the three pilots start to realize that they are up to the challenge. They can use their skill set, and they're gonna have to actually fly through this. That the minefields have to be navigated head on, and they're gonna use their turbo lasers, and they're just gonna have to get through it. And it's possible they can do it. They just got to rely on themselves. And they say, I think Boomer's the one that mentions their academy days. It's like as if they're flying, as new pilots using instruments only.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where we're coming up on 9. So we'll have to. We got enough time to do the rest of the chapter. You want to hold off and do it next week?
Well, I think this is good. This is good. Sean says Galactic always received criticism for two-dimensional approach to outer space, right? And the same thing happened with the gun on Ice Planet Zero. That's always like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, herded. I remember that they said something. About
they were herded
into that area. It seems like we're being herded into this location.
Yeah. Sandy
course,
actually says
coming from Lauren, it's a big herd going on.
Yeah.
Ponderosa, we got to herd them into that location.
Sandy says, even as a kid, I always thought, how come they just don't go around? Yeah. And Kylie was like, highly radioactive parts of space that may have been the reason why they had to.
That makes sense.
Right? That's good.
Yeah, makes sense. That would have been better if you would have said something like that in the show.
Yeah, a little bit more. All right. Well, look. Bottom line is, all said and done, there's reasons why there's a minefield and why Caroline is the way it is, which we will discuss then. Part 2 of Chapter 6. So that leaves us at the actual break. We're going to pick it up with the 4th section in this chapter, and it gets more interesting. And so I vote with you, Chris. Let's come back to this. There's plenty to dissect and discuss. It's always cool, and we'll bring up any of the differences between the books themselves and the show, of course. But we also wanted to, I think, Chris, real quick, as we do the wrap for this episode, is I wanted to mention, that we have a couple of dates set, and I alluded to the tribute, Chris. We came to a decision that we are going to do a Richard Hatch tribute this year, and we have a show that's going to revolve around our first tribute. We're going to do other tributes as well, but
Right.
that we're going to do one for Richard Hatch, and we have a date for it, and it's February 7th,
It's a
and we have a
Sunday.
special. Yep, it's a Sunday, guys, and we have a special guest, and his name is Dave Karen, and he got to know Richard Hatch very well, and he's providing us with some fantastic background information, interviews, stories. Worked on projects with Richard Hatch, and we're going to be bringing all that to you, and it's a tribute. So we invite everybody to come on and join us for that. Richard Hatch personified Battlestar Galactica. He made it his lifelong crusade to make sure that the fans were all involved. He kept them going. He
Yep.
knew that there was a love for it, and he did a lot for it. And you got to meet him, Chris.
Yeah.
So I hope to see some of your pictures. I know you saw him at a convention, and you have your own stories. I have my own stories. Unfortunately, though, not as good as yours, but we'll bring this stuff
I
up.
wouldn't say it.
And then of course we also have a couple of other. We have actor, producer, writer for independent films. He's a award winning. His work has been featured around the world. All multiple film festivals. We'll get into a lot of details
Multiple
with that,
awards,
and he's
yep.
he's gonna tell us where he grew up as a sci-fi Battlestar Galactica fan, and bring it to the present, George Zulos. And so we have him set, and then we also have another guest that we have. I'm looking over. We have a couple others actually lined up.
Chile.
We got, yes, we have Marcelo Arias from Chile, and we are establishing a firm date for him. We're working on that. We have an interview, and we
had to
have
break the sound. We had to break not the sound barrier, the language barrier on that one.
yes. So we did, and he's coming from Chile. His interview is from Chile. He's a CGI creator, and his passion for Galactica has led him to create some original, fantastic CGI. We're lucky enough to, amazing stuff. So we're going to broadcast that along with his interview. So that plus, man, we have, I think, on the board, Chris, we're looking at about 20 different guests. We're going to be doing the trivia. Trivia's coming back, and we're going to do the prop collectors, all kinds of various interviews, writing interviews. We got some authors. We got a big named author, really well known. It's involved in franchises. We can't say his name yet, but we're gonna lock that down, guys, and just stay tuned. We are going to have a lot of great stuff coming up. Not to mention, we're going to finish the book. We're going to talk about the fanzines. We're going to have other writers. We have somebody that was involved in the fanzines.
We have interviews. We have books that we're going to review. I'm a big audiobook listener, so we'll go through a bunch of the audiobooks that they're out there that I've listened to. The really good stuff. And I think
comic books.
We've got tons of comic books to go through. There's no shortage of material for us. That is for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And eventually, Chris, let's not forget that we're going to talk about cosplaying as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my daughter does cosplay quite a bit.
Yes, and let's the truth be told that we also do some cosplay too.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, don't let one of those helmets, fall on top of your head. So, welcome, John Paul. Thanks for tuning in. So, we're going to talk about the cosplay, and eventually, guys, look, fingers crossed. Back to cons, man. and I'm not talking about the digital cons. We're talking about actually getting to the conventions
Yep.
and interviewing and filming at the cons, bringing that to everybody. I'm like, that's a big thing for me. If you haven't heard me say it once, Chris, my first con was in 1977, and I am in touch with a local convention producer from here in
that's
the
right. You just
East
talked to
Coast
him
of
not
New
too
York.
long ago. Yeah.
So so I'm hopefully I'll be able to lock down his Wikipedia page, extremely well known, doing it for well over 30 years. I believe he's second generation, and we may be able, if we're lucky, we'll have him on board. And so we got a whole bunch of stuff, guys. So look, thanks for tuning in. Chris, let's give him. Oh, Chris, let's not forget to do the email. Got to do the email. We got to give out our email because I know a lot of the fans want to get in touch with us. So
if you just go to our site, like the
Yeah.
YouTube site, and just IM us there, not YouTube, I mean Facebook. So there's
yes, please.
yeah, so there's all the let's just do that right now. So of course we've got these multiple sites. You can just IM us on Facebook. You can throw out Twitter. I'm on Twitter quite a bit lately, just because there's a lot of good information coming out there. Not that I support a particular platform or not support a particular platform. Please don't go that route. I just it just happens to be a really cool place to talk with other fans. And of course, Facebook has got a really large fan audience. I mean, you look up Battlestar Galactica on Facebook and you'll find 15, 20 different Battlestar Galactica groups out there that are in the thousands, of course. But if you need to, want to contact us, have an idea for a show, something to that effect, please reach out to us via IM on Facebook. We'll get it. It goes directly to Peter and I. Once you instant message it, it pops up on our phones. So we can look at, any ideas that you have or anything that you might want to do. We're also going to be doing some super fan stuff. So we'll look for super fans out there that I'm going to do a couple interviews with fans that are been Galacta nuts for a long time. I need to trademark that, Galacta nuts. It almost sounds bad though when I say it out loud. In my head, it sounds okay.
That was because you're working it through your second Cylon brain.
Yeah.
Sounds really good inside the brain.
Galacta nuts. Galactica nuts. Galacta nuts. Yeah, that works. It's okay.
So, hey, Chris, let's not forget to mention, guys, we're working through, upgrading the platforms, and don't forget to give likes.
Upgrading your
Gotta get those
computer.
likes. Man, you can't get away the robotics with Chris, man. It's always about the computers, man. No wonder you're the Tipsy Toaster, right? You got to live up to the name.
Yeah, Pete's operating on an i3, by the way. I'm surprised it's
He's
not
going to shame me into getting a new computer, yeah.
I'm surprised it's not a 486 or a 286.
How do you know it's not, man? The Commodore. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right. So, hey.
TRS, a trash
thanks.
80.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We had, guests from all over the world, which is so cool. That's why we're doing it, right? I mean, let's face it, Chris, if if it was just a couple of us, we'd still do it, but maybe not as often, and it'd be a lot different. But, we're getting, thousands. It's incredible.
Face it, Pete, you and I get on the phone and we talk for an hour about every other day about science fiction or something. So don't even go there. It wouldn't be as long. It'll be just as long, actually. Probably longer, because we wouldn't be getting our fix this way. We'd be getting our fix on the phone. So I'm talking to Pete the other day where he's working, and I hear in the background, "Live long and prosper." I was like, what the heck is going on?
I'm not at a convention, man. I'm at work. Hey, listen, I wear it on my sleeve, Chris. I don't hide it. I can't speak for you, man. But hey, it is what it is. People know we have our group there. No questions asked. So listen, and then next week we'll be back on and bringing more to you. So everybody stay safe and see you at the next show.
Stay safe, stay warm, stay connected, stay Galactanut.
Take care, everybody.
Nutty. Y'all take care. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.
I don't have any. We need closeout music. You know that?
I thought we had closeout. Where's the closeout? I thought you had closeout music.
I don't
You
have
did.
closeout music.
What'd you do with it,
I
man?
don't have closeout music.
I could have sworn you did.
No, I don't have any closeout
Oh,
music.
whoa, take care.
I've got snow. Hang on, we'll snow it out. All right, everybody.
Snow it out.
Stay warm.
All right.
Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. Take care.